So I woke up the third morning and I was laying in bed and I'm like, I have human flesh. Oh my gosh, I have human flesh. And I did this. I have human flesh for the first time in 10 or 20 years. My flesh, it feels like I'm a human being. And it hadn't been that way at all in so many years. I was amazed. I couldn't believe that one 10-pass could do that to me.
This is Linda, and Linda is giving us a really profound display of what happened after a treatment and with a lot of emotion. Today's August 10th, 2017. Linda has had a long-term diagnosis of fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, multiple chemical sensitivity
Yes.
to a wastebasket of terrible problems. You were written off in the 1980s by doctors. You've been in terrible pain. You told me they gave you OxyContin. You've been on OxyContin, and now with a narcotic debacle,
Yes.
they told you they're going to discontinue you.
Yes.
And the reason why you were on it is it's because it's the only thing insurance would pay for. Is
Right.
that correct?
That's correct.
I wanted to throw that into the mix
Yeah.
because there's financial concerns and you were dependent on the system
Yes.
to get OxyContin, and they're going to take it away from you, and you're very worried about it. You couldn't even feel, you couldn't squeeze your arm like
no.
this
It's like made out of rock or
because
something.
it was made out of rock with your fibromyalgia. Now, a couple weeks ago, you got something you call the neurovirus. You felt very fatigued, sweating. It felt like you ran a marathon just to walk from the bathroom to your bed or vice versa. You came in, you got a 10-pass, and you felt like a new woman.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
You got better immediately. And
Yes.
your fibromyalgia got lots better.
Yes.
And we're here today to talk about what further we might be able to do.
Correct.
Okay, and you were under the care of my wife in the past and
Yeah.
also for the 10-pass.
Yes. She
Okay.
is awesome.
Thank you very
I love
much.
Dr. Sue.
I may post this on YouTube?
You may.
Okay, thank you. And it was the videos here on YouTube that got you interested in
Yes,
this, correct?
I looked and I saw that Dr. Rowan had this new therapy called a 10-pass that could help people that had tremendous viral loads, and that I thought, this is what I need to do to get well.
In my opinion, just for the viewer and for you, this wastebasket term fibromyalgia, it's real. It's just a description. It's an infection, a virus. It could be bacteria, stealth infection. It could potentially be Lyme disease. And the doctors don't have a clue, and they just give you chemicals, pain drugs.
Right.
And they're not addressing how we might be able to get your system to come
It
online.
actually gets worse than that, because I do have information from Stanford that I have a high viral load. The chronic fatigue syndrome there did testing on me. I have at least 5 or 6 of the dozen or so viruses they test for. They had offered me some antivirals that felt like someone was stabbing me in the abdomen. They did
The
not
drugs did
help.
that?
I could not continue to take them. Yes, they did.
This is interesting to me because they were offered to you because insurance, correct? Insurance would pay for these chemicals.
Yes.
They made you worse.
Yes, they did.
Okay. And this is one of the problems I see with medicine in this country. You are dependent upon insurance, so you went the standard route.
Correct.
They addicted you to OxyContin. They gave you drugs that made you dramatically worse. You were not left with a lot of money to pursue some alternative things. And this time you got some help from family.
Yes.
You got Ozone, which is not covered by insurance.
Right.
And you're a different woman.
Yes.
Okay. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
What was that you were saying to me?
I just said that when I saw Dr. Sue, she was so kind. She immediately got me in. I think I would have been dead within a week had I not been able to get treatment immediately. I just was so weak. I just had no strength to stay alive anymore.
How long did that treatment take to work for you? Did you feel something immediately, a day?
It took maybe not the next morning, but the morning after that. That's when I woke up and I felt like my tissues, all the tissues in my body completely changed. That all of a sudden, instead of being like a rock, I was like a human being again.
and now you have hope.
I do. I have hope.
And again, you're the classic person to me of what I've been saying on Facebook and elsewhere. The system left you totally dependent on the system.
I had no other options.
Yes, between taxation and the cost of living, you were left with nothing to look after yourself, so you had to rely on insurance.
Correct.
Am I right?
That's right.
And with insurance, you got very limited care, chemical care, pharma care, which enriched them and made you worse.
That's true.
And now you got an alternative.
Now I'm really between a rock and a hard place because no chronic pain patients are going to be allowed pain medication. They told us all of us have to be off by the first of the year. I have a pain specialist, and he said, there's nothing I can do, Linda. Everyone has to be off by January 1st, and so I'm in a quandary.
Well, are you still taking it?
Yeah.
And well, I'm hoping we can get you off.
I'm hoping we can get me off too.
And typically we've been able to do that for the fibromyalgia cases.
That would be
There's going to be
awesome.
hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who are addicted to OxyContin, who are going to have to come off due to this narcotic debacle.
Yes.
And they're not going to have much for them. What we do is we go after the cause of the problem, not cover it up with drugs.
Right. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm addicted to it, but the pain is so unbearable. I'm literally in tears. I would be unable to move without something for the pain.
Understood.
So I have to get rid of the pain.
And listen, I'm not against people taking something for pain, even if it's narcotic. I don't want people to suffer.
Right.
There are alternatives, though. We'll go through
I'd
that.
rather not have the pain. Then I don't have to take anything. That would be my goal.
You told me some other things I didn't know. You're on Medicare and Medi-Cal.
Correct.
And in order for you to get this OxyContin, they drug test you
Every single month.
And
It
if
is
they
either
find
a
it-
urine analysis or a saliva analysis. They test you for everything. It's like so many tests. I have no idea what they test, but there's multiple ones listed on the Medicare statement. And so if
And
they
if
were
they
to
find
find
it, they cut you
anything
off.
else, I would get in huge trouble for being a bad person. So I can only take exactly what I'm prescribed, nothing else. So I can't try anything else that might show up as being a problem.
This is incredible to me. So I didn't know this.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
they're very strict.
So evidently, this is how I'm looking at it. Pharma must have bought off government so that OxyContin was the ticket to get paid. You couldn't do anything else but OxyContin.
Right.
Somebody there's getting rich. You can only take OxyContin.
That's
and
it.
God forbid if you took medical marijuana
Oh, yeah,
that
that
somebody
would be very
recommended,
bad.
you'd be wiped out, right?
Absolutely, I would be in big trouble.
This is new to me, and I'm really glad you're sharing it with me.
Okay.
To me, this is a huge scandal because you're limited. The system is relegating you to a patented, profitable petrochemical pharmaceutical, and you can't do anything else, or you'd
Right.
be taken out.
Right, that's how I got in this predicament in the first place. So I get in a predicament where I have extreme pain. I'm given a medication. I'm taking it exactly as directed. They're testing me every month. I can only take what I'm given, so I'm fine with that. Now they're saying, too bad that you're in excruciating pain. Too bad that you're an elderly person in pain. You're not going to get any more pain medication. So what am I supposed to do?
So after all these years where you couldn't do anything else,
Right.
they're going to essentially
Yes.
chop your legs off
Absolutely.
by removing this.
Absolutely. There is
Okay.
no other option.
Well, let's get to work on this for you. And I'm so
Yes.
glad you had such a good response because that's a very favorable sign.
Yes.
Well, you just had your second session, right?
I did.
A second 10 pass.
Second 10 fast.
Yeah, tell me what's different.
Well, this time I feel better right away. The last time it took a couple of days for the 10 pass to kind of start perking me up. So this time I feel better right away. And I would say that from the time I started to now, and I was really sick, like at death's door, I am 40 to 50% improved with 10
Just
passes.
2 treatments.
Just 2
And
treatments.
you've had fibromyalgia
Oh,
and
gosh.
chronic fatigue for decades, correct?
Yes, decades.
You've been miserable. You're a
Miserable,
woman.
unable to get out of bed, and I'm very happy. I love life, but I haven't been loving it for about 15 years.
And I want to tell the viewer I'm really impressed with you. You're in your 60s.
Yes.
That's okay to say, right?
That's fine.
you really want to go to work. You
Yes.
really want to support yourself.
I do.
You don't like being on any type of assistance.
No.
And you're coming in so you can get better so that you can go back to work, which you haven't been able to do.
I haven't worked for a long time, and I loved my job, so yes, that would be awesome.
Okay, 40 to 50% after decades of illness with just 2 sessions.
Yeah, it's very encouraging.
It
I
is-
recommend it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.